and always pushing help, well, better understand the self and giving praise to the Most High. So check this out. In this video, I'm going over Officer Tatum and the masculineness. I don't know. I mean, I've seen his channel before. I don't know his exact name, but in this video, he did an interview. He interviewed this guy, and it just seems like he couldn't cross certain lines. And I'm gonna highlight the points where I feel like it just seems like he can't say too much. Now, this is important because I talked about me and the fam and my little team I got about doing interviews, and we were saying how we want it to be authentic. We want people to actually be able to answer the questions that the public want to know. And I feel like once you reach a certain level, it's things that they don't want to say. Okay, that's why on my channel I want to be able to be a free speaker and say what the people feel and ask the questions that the people want to know because it has something to do with us. So without further ado, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, push me on the algorithm. I greatly appreciate that. Now, I got two spots that I'm gonna rock with this. I ain't gonna take too much of your time. This is like an hour-long video, right? But at first, they speak on the hazing and the masculineness. I like that name for him. Well, that's what he had on his shirt of being in an Omega fraternity. Check this out and watch how they deflect this.
Was college? Were you a good student? Going to school, getting good grades, or were you just hoeing it up?
Nah.
I'm just keeping it real, bro. Cause
man, I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Oh, bro, so I know what happened.
You know what I mean? But I wasn't cutting up, bro. Like I was a scholar of my frat. I got awards for me getting good grades. I'm not like a recluse or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
But the women was not a problem, but they was a distraction. That's probably my only distraction.
Dude, unless you gay, I think that, or are you super lame? I think that women are always a distraction in college for men.
Yeah.
If you look decent whatsoever, they running after you, especially you being in a fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get hazed? I can't ask you that. I'll say this: was it challenging?
So you see how once he was about to go there, he said, I can't ask you that. You know, it's a code that they live by, I feel like in the higher ups where they understand that there's certain things that's just off limits. In me doing interviews, that was a good question, I think, to ask anybody who in the Omega. How was your hazing experience like? You know? And I can understand that if you don't want to expose the gang, a lot of people, tied into the gang, they don't want to expose the gang. But for Officer Tatum, for you to, softball them like that is, it's just like, we want real genuine conversations and real questions that's being asked. That's just in my opinion. I already know that both of these guys are in positions that where they don't want to say too much. Now, I want to know what y'all think about that. So y'all remember that. Why wouldn't they want to talk about their hazing experience? Well, as far as him being Omega Psi Phi, knowing what happened to Caleb Wilson, condolence to his family. RIP to him for what he went through. Now, on Tatum's show, right, he normally speaks as if, black people are, you can do whatever you want to do. And I believe that. I believe that we're in the time where we can kind of come together and do whatever we want to do, right? But he kind of, makes it to where he doesn't care about the struggle that we've been through or the things that I speak on my channel about the whole that this gatekeeping activity that's done on the black community and people, profiting off of poverty. They don't speak about that because not all of us will be able to do the things that some of us could do because of the restrictions on the community. Now, that doesn't mean you can get out of that. I'm not, trying to say that nobody can be great and do what they want to do. I believe you can, but I think we still have to recognize the hold on the community at what's holding majority of people back and them not knowing. But this guy talks about racism. What I think he tried to check himself. Okay, he tried to check himself because I think that they don't want that on the channel. They don't want people talking like this in this kind of way. Check it out. Let me see what you think.
3-4 years in, I'm coming to realize that I've been blackballed for some reason. And it lasted years. I'm putting in.
Now he's talking about how he went to the border patrol and he was trying to, level up. And he speaks about how it's only 4 black guys, it's 400 agents, and it's only like 4 black guys in there. So I want y'all to see how he speaks to his audience, not genuinely, not regularly. He just kind of, it's like softball. Check it out.
And applications to take advantage of other opportunities. I'm interviewing with all types of higher ups from different gigs or whatnot, and I'm just getting told no all the time, right? And I know how it's gonna sound to the audience too, because it's like, what is about you that's not that,
right?
You know what I mean?
You know
and I know that because I was self-aware because I'm whatever I need to improve, I'm going.
So you see how you say I don't want it to sound to the. It's like they try to stay in certain parameters. It's like they're not. They don't have the right to just speak freely, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think, but I'm gonna let them go.
Going to improve on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the one to toot my own horn. It's bro, put it like this. It was one point in time where the ACLU was suing the Border Patrol because of treatments of aliens. Maybe like I'm 5 years in, bro. So they sent all the attorneys to our station, and come to find out, all the powers that be at our Border Patrol station, like the chief, like the top dogs.
Yeah,
they have a night at the round table conversation, like who we gonna get to talk to the attorneys to paint us in the best light, that knows the policies and is not gonna make us look crazy. Who they pick?
Right, pick you.
Me out of everybody. It's like, and then it's like 4 black people at the station. It's like 400 agents. Me, you know what I mean? And then they all watching me as I'm talking to the attorneys, trying to make sure everything good. You know what I mean? But then when it's like time for me to, capitalize off of the work I put in, bro, it's like no. And I even had supervisors telling me, like, bro, like, because at the Border Patrol, they responsible for securing the border. You got stations along the border, right? And those stations are in control of that particular section of the border. So that's like a entry level type of thing. So when I go to the station, 5-6 years in, I got soups telling me, my peers telling me, like, why you still here, Knight?
Yeah.
And like, why the hell you still here, bro? It's like you better than this. You know what I'm saying? It's like a punch in the gut, like, bro, I got any control over whether or not I'm here or not. You know what I'm saying? And then it's compounded with the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I have equipped myself to be, bro, the people they're selecting over me, I've trained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like every day it's just another gut punch.
So you got blackballed.
Yeah, bro.
See how Officer Tatum trying to really stop. He ain't, this ain't his audience, ain't on this. They don't want to hear no sob stories for no black people. This is how I'm taking it. We gotta cut this. He like, but check it out.
And I had a soup tell me that too. Like, for some reason, somebody here don't like you, bro. Every time somebody calls in trying to do a reference on you, they get a bad tickets getting pulled out. You know what I'm saying? I went and talked to the head dude at the station one time, like the top dog. I sat him down, like, bro, what the going on?
Yeah.
In so many words. And then he's playing some he say, she say stuff, talking about, like, well, so-and-so said that you have been talking down on the Border Patrol, like things I've never said, bro. Like somebody had smoked me.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I felt like, I'm stuck because I thought law enforcement was going to be my only position, because I'm making like 120, 130 a year at this point. I can't just get up and quit.
So that was the point where, he was talking about his experience. And I just feel like that he had to tell them, like, I know this is going to sound bad to the audience. It's like he couldn't just say how he feels and just leave it there. It's like they got to fit a certain audience, in my opinion. Um, but I do gotta say this was a good interview. Okay, it was some gems in there, especially about YouTube. All right, they did talk about the party. Check this out. Um, on how he became on the black culture. Check this out.
What I also wanted to bring up as far as the conversation with what's holding black people back, which is irony in that is like, you know, they black folks love to blame the white man, but the biggest thing in black people's way is black people.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? And one of the biggest things that I realized at this point of, you know, how I've grown is that I used to take pride in my struggle. Just take pride in my pain, and that's like such self-destructive, self-destructive. It's like, you know, no one can relate to our struggles. No one can say anything about it, right? So if you can't even talk to me about it, and how you supposed to grow? How you supposed to fix anything?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of that held me back personally a lot back then, and that's why I always I'm glad to have the YouTube community, which requires you to take into account everybody's perspectives. And then traveling as well. When you get outside of America, you see what real struggle look like. Like everybody think they a victim and this racist, bruh. Man, take your
Right.
take your Russia. Take your anywhere where you don't have this infrastructure here and the safety of police and the law to protect you, bruh. Where all right, you black, all right, you about to get you know what I'm saying?
And nobody gonna be held accountable.
Like that's crazy. They don't know what real racism look like, bro.
Yeah, bro.
This ain't no
bro. It's crazy because
Now I disagree with them on that. I mean, you're saying some truth, but like I said, y'all try to bunch up what the Democratic Party is doing, and they put it to where this is how black people are feeling. Where I go at the Democratic Party as well. How they're trying to politicize our struggle is not what we're saying. We are trying to justice. It's a difference. Okay, it's not taking pride on it. It's actually bring awareness to it for justice. Okay, because we come into a lot of racial situations that don't have to be if we just understand the history and then we understand how to move forward and correct it with the trauma. So I'm not saying that we got to be like, oh my gosh, and the white man is holding us back. You're there. People are taking what the Democrat Party is doing, and then they making it that this is how black people are feeling. And I think that's just is wrong to associate all of us with that same narrative. So I want to clear that up.
it's a people live in a different world. Like I look at the world and I say, wow, this is an incredible opportunity for everybody, but especially black people. Because where else in the world will you go and have an opportunity to do what people do now? And going back to your point about black people being out on issue, like when I was growing up in an all black neighborhood, white people wasn't a factor. I mean, realistically, the person that's gonna rob you is gonna be a person that look like you. Somebody stealing out of your car, somebody that hit your grandma over the head at the grocery store, or you just having to swing on somebody because you wearing the wrong colors.
Now he looking at low hanging fruit. This is why, me going over this, because this narrative will get out and people will think that the black people are my first enemy. But Officer Tatum, this is by design. This is where we're trying to tell you guys that poverty and that mindset is being profited off of. This is what makes billions. And you're not speaking on that. You're just speaking on somebody else's experience in the hood when you're not looking at it with a bigger view and understanding the finance that comes behind of people being in poverty and what you can do here in America, at least. It's a lot of money generated. And I think you're skipping over when you talk about that. Yeah, it is problems in the community, but we got to get to the root of the problem. It's like if I go put a hit out on somebody and you keep charging the person that's shooting, but the guy that's free can keep putting hits out on somebody. That's why these people have to go to jail and have to get caught as well, because you can be having your attention on the wrong person. But let me.
And now they think you banging, or you either gonna get punked, or you may lose your life over something like that. You name it, bro. The dude hating on you, the dude that's, you know, trying to get your girl up. It's really black people. And then when
you can't say that, you know, this is what I'm saying. You can't say that. Now, y'all had some good parts that y'all was saying in the community that y'all was talking about here, as far as, you know, we can do for self. We can do things that, you know, and we working on that. Best believe we doing things and making things happen. You know, shout out to everybody who tapped in on my channel. You know, we focus on moving and shaking on my channel, but I feel that for you to just say that it's black people without understanding, you know, the laws that was put in place and the things, you know, because he talked about us, we would have been in a better position if we didn't integrate. If we would have been segregated, we would have been a lot better. And I agree with that. So I don't agree with what Officer Tatum is saying on this part where with blaming black people, but I think that is something that's in his agenda with what he has to do. You know, because I think he got sponsors, and we can tell how these brothers is talking. They're not trying to just give the real, but I did learn a lot from him. I appreciate this interview. I think it's, you know, a lot that I take from this. I don't put Officer Tatum in the same breath as Charleston White. I just think, you know, he got a little agenda that's on the right wing that's not, you know, it doesn't hold our principles and morals up. A little off code to me. But other than that, man, I think this was a good take. I think that y'all should check it out. And they said some things, but we do have to call out what we see, what I see, and I see that it's a bit of gatekeeping information that y'all don't want to really put out or don't want to say because I don't know, you know, your political stance on things. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.